But one of my favorite uncles passed away yesterday. He always supported me, so I want you to give my Uncle Lennox a big round of applause from Arima. And a year to the day, one of my best friends passed away, a Trinidadian as well. Give a round of applause to my boy Ricky Skinny Sally Singh. Give it up for him. And let's get started. So, I do live in Toronto. This is what I sound like. I wish I had the accent. But here's the beautiful thing about Trinidad. I love us as a people. Because whenever I perform outside of Trinidad or anywhere, white people see me and they're like, wow, what are you? Are you black? Are you Indian? Are you Syrian? Are you Indian? Are you the Taliban? What are you? Which I think says a beautiful thing about us as Trinbagonian people, because that's who we are. We're African, we're Indian, we're Syrian, we're Chinese, we're white, and we all mix together and we make the most beautiful people in the entire world. Yes, yes. And you know what message that sends out to the world? We will sleep with anybody. So watch your step on the way out. It's been a while for me. I am happily married though, if you see the ring, I am happily married. I've been married for a little while. I married a beautiful Trinidadian woman. Her family's originally from California. And she doesn't have the typical Trinidadian accent. And I love the Trini accent. She went to convent. So she talks like she went to convent. She doesn't open her mouth very wide. She went to convent. Which is great, but horrible for being married, because when you're trying to do things with a girl from convent who doesn't open her mouth, what are you doing? But it actually beats my ex-girlfriend who was from Sangre Grande, who spoke like she was from Sangre Grande. And it was the worst. She would try to talk dirty, and it just didn't work because it just, you know, he's like, oh God, I want you to take your coconut and squeeze up my tatats and rub up my bumpy. Where you going? But I love being married to a Trini. And I want to stay married to my wife forever. And the reason I want to stay married to my wife forever is because my parents have been married almost 50 years. And yes, almost 50 years. Not to the same people, but 50 years. I'm kidding, they're still married. And I remember before I got married, I remember coming back to Trinidad to talk to my mom because they used to live in Toronto but were deported. And I remember asking my mom, I was like, Mom, how you and Dad stay married for so long? And my mother looks me in the face, she's like, well, son, sometimes in marriage you just need to learn how to fantasize. I didn't know if I wanted to hear the rest of this from my mom, but she continued, yes, sometimes with your father I just fantasize on a Saturday morning. I will wake up before your father. The sun will be coming in through the louvers, and the little dust particles will be floating around. Very romantic, and I watch your father sleeping soundly and I fantasize, I wish you were just dead in your sleep. Yes, I just fantasize 7, 8, 9 times a day. My wife is expecting her second child. We still need to figure out whose it is. I'm kidding, it's mine. But I have a boy. Our boy came first, which was great. Made me feel macho. And you know what made me feel even better about having a boy is that it was a planned pregnancy. It wasn't a Maury Povich thing. It wasn't one, this is not my child, Maury. It wasn't one of those. It was planned. And I got my wife pregnant in the first shot. Well, technically it was the second shot because the first one hit her somewhere around her cheek. Same session. Force of habit. But being on my second child, fellas, if you are expecting a child or trying to have a child, as beautiful as it is as an act, please stay out of the delivery room. I know you want to support your girl or your wife or your outside thing, whatever. Stay out of it. Because watching your woman give birth, you're standing there and you're watching the child come out and you're like, wow, this is like watching my favorite restaurant burn down. Sure, they could rebuild it, but you'll never eat there again. You have to find a new restaurant. It is 2013 and we need to let go of all the things that people hold on to. I really love us as a people, as Trini people, and I travel around, and in Toronto, our biggest rivals are Jamaicans. And I love Jamaican people, no disrespect to the Jamaican people, but what I love about us is we have sense enough to think before we speak. Jamaicans have a water slide from their brain to their mouth. Whatever pops is like, yo, you know what, brethren, I don't like your face. I don't like what you wear. I don't like how you talk to me. I don't care if I'm under arrest, but I don't like you, officer. Whereas Trinis, we're not like that. We're like, ha 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 ha. That man is a real jackass, boy. Look how we teeth space apart, boy. You should brush one close up. We're smarter than that. And Jamaicans, I don't get the homophobia thing. It's 2013. Let people be happy. You know what I mean? If it don't bother you, leave people alone. And I know Jamaicans are homophobic because I was with one of my Jamaican brethren, and we were smoking a thing, and then he looks at me and he's like, yo, Trini boy, you know what, man, I have to go back to work. You have any gum? I want mask, the smell of the weed on my bread them. You have any gum? And I said, yeah, sure, man. And I gave him some gum, and it was Bubblicious, but the Bubblicious with the syrup in the middle. And I gave it to him, and he unwrapped it, and he bit into it, and as he bit into it, the juice shot to the back of his throat, and his eyes popped open, and he's like, yo, Trini boy, we got a bomb clot, blood clot, Batman, Chichiman gum, you give me there. You can't just give me a Chichiman gum, I'll burst on the back of my throat, Bridget. I'm gonna take this run down my chin, Bridget, fire bun splash gum. Like it's gum. Because that's Jamaicans. Jamaicans have two sides to them. They have the Batman thing and the conscious thing. You know what I mean? The Batman thing, they don't like nothing. It's like, yo, let's go get some ice cream. Batman not eat ice cream. Like, what? Ice cream's delicious. But I love the conscious. If we have any roots men in here, big up yourselves, roots man. I love the roots men because the roots men preach consciousness and liberation. If you ever hung out at a reggae party, and besides, before I go any further, if anybody ever gets invited to a house party like I did in Laventille, don't go. I showed up and they had security at the door. I'm like, how do you have security at a party? And the guy shows up, he's like, yo, hey, you have any guns? And I'm like, nah, man. And he's like, all right, take this one. So don't go. But if you ever hung out at a reggae party with a real roots man from Jamaica, they preach, and I love the preaching. They stand there and they be like, yo, you see black man is African, every African is black man. Think about it. But Jamaicans are very patriotic, so the young Jamaicans be like, nah man, it's Jamaican, me a born. Jamaican, me a dead, sir. But the roots man cool, he be like, nah youth man, think about it. Because if a sheep was born in a pig pen, that sheep is not a pig. Think about it. But it sounds so good, you start smoking too, even if you don't smoke, which is the wrong thing to do, because then you start getting read out, and the roots man starts dropping knowledge, realizing you're read out, he'll be like, yo, check this out. If a fish had it swimming in the water, and the fish not open his mouth, he wouldn't get hooked. Think about it. You're like, true thing, brethren, true thing. And he keeps dropping knowledge. The more you smoke, the more knowledge he drops. Yo, check this out, brethren. If you get into a fight with a dreadlock, and you knock him out, is him still conscious? Think about it. But yardies are very patriotic, so they fight it down. They be like, yo, how come all your roots men smoke weed all day long, sir? But the roots man cool, he be like, you see, weed is a negative and stereotypical word which I bring up by the white man in North America. Weed a kill and choke plants in the earth. This here is herb. And herb a heal sick people. Plus you find it with spices in Kentucky Fried Chicken. Think about it. Then at the end of the night when he realizes you're totally gone through, this is when he drops the big knowledge, the science. He'll be like, yo, you see herb? Herb I give the Rasta man vision. It'll make him see things clear. Just like him I wear glasses. And that youth man is why them call the first dreadlock Rastafari. Think about it. Guaracara, Trinidad, I love you. R.I.E.P. Uncle Lennox, Sunny Boy, Skinny.